It's a guy.
Yay! Suddenly, by coincidence apparently, big-budget Hollywood movies are appearing in which homosexuality, once a subject forbidden from the silver screen, is now portrayed as an acceptable choice.
Hi, I'm Stephen Capsuto, author of Alternate Channels, Queer Images on 20th Century TV. It's April 1st, and today in queer TV history, in 1982, CBS Evening News ran a story about something really shocking. Lots of queer characters in movies. Well, it wasn't really lots of queer characters in movies, it was just a few. But for 1982, it seemed like a lot because it was more than had gone before. We're about to watch that report. And what I think is really telling about it is the fact that in 1982, CBS Evening News felt the need to preface this report with kind of an apology for even talking about this distasteful topic. This is over a decade after Stonewall, more than 30 years after the founding of the homophile movement, and yet the atmosphere in 1982, which is, the height of the Reagan administration, very conservative era, the topic of same-sex desire was controversial enough and uncomfortable enough for lots of people that they felt the need to apologize. Here's the report.
It is more than a national debate over heredity versus environment. Some say it is a question of morality. Others say you are what you are, and you should be proud of it. The subject is homosexuality, a controversial subject, and one recently dealt with in a number of commercially released movies. And as Jeff Greenfield reports, in Hollywood, the big question seems to be, is it good box office?
Okay, I admit it.
There's a new twist on an old Hollywood formula these days. Now it's boy meets boy.
Why don't you just say it? I'm gay.
Girl loses boy.
Tell me, what is it?
I find that I'm attracted to men.
Girl meets girl.
I just...
What?
Need you.
Even girl is boy, who is really girl.
It's a guy.
Yay!
Suddenly, by coincidence apparently, big-budget Hollywood movies are appearing in which homosexuality, once a subject forbidden from the silver screen, is now portrayed as an acceptable choice. In Making Love, a happily married doctor falls in love with a writer.
At least I know who I am, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
In Personal Best, a homosexual affair frames the story of two women athletes. In Victor Victoria, a female singer poses as a man who gains fame as a female impersonator, with the help of her gay mentor. In Partners, two cops, one straight, one gay, go undercover in the gay community. And in Deathtrap, Michael Caine and his gay lover, Christopher Reeve, Superman no less, conspire for love and money. Why now? Well, America's become a more open society. Homosexuality has moved from the shadows to the talk show spotlight. But it's still controversial enough to add a sense of tension to a plot line. Personal Best writer-director Robert Towne.
And adultery is just real hard to get upset about these days, honey. I just had an affair with your best friend. What would you like for dinner? And I mean, it's real tough to get upset about it. So I think that one looks for things in which there is risk.
He thinks that you're... I can't even say it, you Steve.
He's right, Arch.
Huh?
For 10 years, television, at least some of it, has been challenging gay stereotypes. Not so the movies.
The entire 1960s and most of the 1970s contained only homosexuals who either committed suicide at the end of the film or were psychopathic in some sort of way or were harmless, flaming sissies.
Now, Hollywood is portraying gays in a far friendlier light.
We weren't advocating anything, but we were allowing the audience to make its own observations about that, and for the first time offering them positive choices.
That's exactly what bothers advocates of traditional morality, such as Cal Thomas, vice president of the Moral Majority.
Now, we're not for stereotyping or coming out against any individual group, but what we do oppose is the attempt through the media and through the wider political spectrum to legitimize a clearly immoral and perverted lifestyle.
I grew up with heterosexual role models, heterosexual parents, heterosexual movies, books, plays, radio, songs. It didn't make me straight.
The box office, not political debate, will decide whether this spate of gay movies will continue. But those bothered by the subject can take some consolation. These films will almost certainly not lead to another Hollywood formula, the sequel. It's awfully hard to imagine Son of Making Love. Jeff Greenfield, CBS News, New York.